Welcome back to the Carton Show. Guess what?
What?
Last night was the draft.
Yeah.
There's going to be some winners.
Yeah.
There's going to be some losers. We have Craig Carton. We have Willie Colon. We have Coach Bill Belichick here to decide.
Bill Belichick.
If you got
Brian
Bill, you got
Billick,
Bill
All right.
Belichick. Same
I
guy,
get
right?
that. I get
You
that a lot.
look so much better, Coach.
Yeah, you look great.
You look happy.
Yeah. Where's the hoodie?
Well, Bill and I are guys with rings that are out of job.
Oh, there you go.
So it's easy to confuse us.
Yeah, I love when guys wear the rings, though.
I love when they
Willie
wear the
never
ring.
wears his ring. You know why? Lineman.
That's it. They don't fit anymore.
Right. Sorry, well, it's all good. All right, so I'm under pressure because I've got Super Bowl coach sitting next to me, but I'll tell you my winners and losers. By all means, tell me I'm wrong. You typically have no problem doing that. Let me start with the Atlanta Falcons, who's we just said give $100 million guaranteed to Kirk Cousins, and then yesterday spent their first-round draft pick on Michael Penix, who will be 35 by the time he takes his first snap with the Atlanta Falcons, which is why the Atlanta Falcons were a draft day losers.
Oh.
Brian? Losers.
No, I'm okay because you gave $100 million to one guy, you're going to give $40 million to the other. It's going to cost you $140 to get a good quarterback. You just have it over two guys. So we'll see if it's first, I'm going to qualify. Well, they're all winners.
Oh, stop
they're
with
all
that.
winners. There you
Brian
go.
Billick.
There you
This
go.
is an Oprah Winfrey after
All
school
winners.
special.
They're all winners.
And they're all going to the Super Bowl.
I'll say this.
I support that. I
Yes,
support that.
that's it.
Yeah,
I'll say
right.
this. They're all going to be wealthy men.
That's
that
right.
we can agree
They're
on.
gonna make money.
But you have to agree. Losers.
This one I put in the questionable category.
Questionable.
Okay.
Questionable.
I don't like that answer, but
All right.
I'm
You
not
want
going to
more.
fight with you. Okay. All right. The New York Giants. They get the stud wide receiver out of LSU, Nabers, right? The last time they took a stud LSU wide receiver, it, of course, was Odell Beckham, great talent. I think he was a great pick by the New York Giants. So the New York Giants are day one of the draft, big-time winners.
Yeah, I agree. You talk about the kid who's hell in the slot pretty much. He's a mixed match. He's a matchup nightmare. But I think one thing he does really well, he plays bigger than what he looks like, right? And that's
He's 6
that's
feet
big.
tall, right? He's
right,
not
but he
6'6".
plays like a 6'4" receiver, so I like him a lot. And then at the end of the day, you talk about a Giants offense that doesn't score points. They need playmakers, and he's one of them. So I thought it was a great pick.
When you said that, it reminds me of Fletch. He's 6'4", but with the afro, he's 6'9".
Right.
Fletch reference, Brian.
Gotcha, I'm with
Where's
you.
the movie with Chevy Chase? Maybe you're not a fan of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got current what is street knowledge.
Do
What
you
is it?
know?
I know
40-year-old
it's hip in the streets. I get
old
it.
movie. All right, number 3. Interesting, you brought up Sean Payton. Sean has a 5-year, $90 million contract to be a head coach. This is why Brian's considering coming back to coaching in the NFL. The Denver Broncos sit right where they're at. They don't move up and get J.J. McCarthy or anybody else. And they wait for Oregon quarterback Bo Nix to become available, which makes me feel like the Denver Broncos are draft day losers.
Hey!
Losers, because nobody had Bo Nix as a first-round draft pick. And when you make the decision to get rid of Russell Wilson because you don't jive with him personality-wise or whatever the case may be, you make desperate decisions. And I thought that's what that was yesterday.
You said Sean Payton, 5 years, $90 million?
Yep.
That's a winner across the board, baby.
Yeah.
At this point, he doesn't care. Look, should he have been in the draft boards, a early second-round pick, late first round? Probably. But they saw you make one decision. Is he a franchise quarterback or not? If he is, I'll take him at 1, 5, 10, 25. I don't care how I have to bring up. He's worth that. They're betting that he is. That guy. People saying Drew Brees-esque and so it's a fit with Sean Payton. The fact that they reached to get him is not a big deal. You got to have the
Well,
quarterback.
let me ask you this,
position
Brian.
right now.
It's interesting. You had Ben DiNucci, who's not a starting quarterback in the NFL, all due respect. And you have Jarrett Stidham, who's clearly not. He's had multiple
Don't forget Zach Wilson.
And then they make a decision pre-draft to go out there and trade for Zach Wilson, of course, the failed quarterback out of the 21 draft for the New York Jets. So I'm saying to myself, man, like you went out and got Zach Wilson, and I heard Peyton Manning's comments the other day where he goes, look, there's no way to be successful if every year in the league you have a different offensive coordinator in your ear and you're struggling already and no offensive line and all that. But if you're going out there to get Zach Wilson, why in the world would you draft Bo Nix?
Because Zach Wilson was the right guy at the right price. Why not? Again, precision, came out of BYU. Sean Payton thinks he can do something with him. And so that gives me a little bit of insurance. I can, maybe start this. all of these guys, all these rookies, based on history, are going to start at some point during the year. Now, you can be a guy that says, I think they ought to start from day one. No, we're going to work. So with Denver, who's only so good a team, the question becomes, if they start Zach Wilson, when does that clock begin? When do you make that? Because they're going to get to Bo Nix.
At some point, Bo Nix is going to be
unless all of a sudden
they're winning.
Yeah, Zach Wilson is Ryan Tannehill. Reborn, playing great under Sean Payton. Now, you know what? Now I got some trade potential for Bo Nix. Maybe if it actually turns out that way. So that's not a bad dichotomy for them.
Do you think that? Look, Sean Payton's getting his money. He's going to be there as long as he wants to be there because he is a Super Bowl winning coach. Do you ever get the sense that when you make a move like that, you do it to buy time?
There is no buying time. No, Sean. All that means Sean Payton's going to get paid.
Yes, he is.
Doesn't mean he's going to stay there as the coach.
Right.
But he's going to get paid.
Did you agree with the move to get rid of Russell Wilson?
It just wasn't a good fit. Yeah, and I love Russell Wilson go to Pittsburgh.
I
think it makes Pittsburgh a very good team.
I think that's 100%. A great fit.
Was there a quarterback that you had a hate-hate relationship in your career? Where not that he was a bad quarterback.
Yeah, every time they threw an interception. Why do we have
every single one?
I've got a very limited perspective.
Here's an interesting one. The Minnesota Vikings move up one spot to get J.J. McCarthy. They make a deal with the Jets to give up some mid-round picks to get him. They were obviously afraid that the Denver Broncos or maybe some other no-name team would jump up to get J.J. McCarthy. Obviously, Sam Darnold right now is the starting quarterback. One-year deal for $10 million. I think this makes the Minnesota Vikings winners. Actually.
Craig, I'm surprised by that answer.
They do need a franchise quarterback. I don't believe Sam Darnold is that guy. All due respect to Sam. And J.J. McCarthy ran a pro-style offense, only had one loss. I like guys who win, especially at that level, playing Big Ten football. I don't think it's fair for people to criticize him as a guy that only handed off to Blake Corum. The kid made throws.
Yeah.
And if you're only throwing 22, 25 times a game, each one of those throws is now worth a lot more.
Correct.
So I like the move by Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm going to scare you here if you like J.J. McCarthy. And again, there's absolutely no reason. I see J.J. McCarthy, and I see either Joe Burrow or Zach Jones.
Yeah, big gap.
Which is it?
Big gap.
Now, again, Zach Jones was drafted where he should have been drafted and the history that he had and whatever. It's just a matter of that I keep coming back to it, that 50-50 equation. There's no reason he can't be good and why he can't be the guy for them. And obviously, O'Donnell will do a great job with him there. He got Jefferson to throw to. He's got the tight end. He's got some assets. There's a maturity about him. Mm-hmm. It's not too big for him. He is a winner. So yeah, there's no reason. But is he that guy or not? You talk about a guy whose butt's on the line. If it doesn't work, then he's going to be sitting here doing radio shows.
Yeah,
I wouldn't hire him after that pick.
Yeah, there's either listen. I think the kid has heart, and I think he's a winner. Two things: either you have or you don't, right? And that's the bottom line. I think when it comes to JJ, when you watch him in that Bama game, as much as they ran the ball, they threw the ball, and he had to make those throws, and he made those throws in clutch situations. So I like him. I honestly thought he was going to get drafted higher than Drake May, but at the end of the day, the Vikings got a guy, and Kevin O'Connor's going to be money with him.
All right, let me go real quick. The New York Jets, losers. We can just move past that.
Come on, Craig.
Losers.
The Jets gave up 3 sacks a game.
Yeah.
We lost our starting quarterback because we couldn't block.
Rebuilt the line before the draft.
Why did I go sign Tyron Smith from the Dallas Cowboys? And then I'm going to find a guy to replace him. That's saying like competency
Craig,
to you.
You got 2 tackles that are 33 years old.
Yeah.
Both have injury-prone guys.
So I've got 2.
And both on 1-year deals. It made sense.
So I've got 2 33-year-old tackles who get hurt a lot, and now I've got a kid who only started playing football 3 years ago, and seems to me, no disrespect, a little light in the ass.
And so what, you going to get Brock Bowers, and nobody could throw the board because we don't have another quarterback?
Let me tell you.
You would have taken Brock Bowers.
No, you
Job 1, protect Aaron.
Yes.
Let's see if we can get Aaron Rodgers to play more than one play.
There you go.
He had 4 last season.
I love
He
Bowers.
played 4 plays last season.
Love Bowers.
That would have been a heck of a pick,
Thank
heck
you.
of an impact for him. But for this team,
Yeah.
and give Aaron, Aaron will raise up the play of the others around him. You can't with the offensive line. I can with receivers and tight ends. I can make them good. You got to protect.
I'll tell you something right now, and this is a memo to one guy and one guy only. Alan Lazard, wherever you are, you better get your act together because we didn't take Brock Bowers. You're the number 3 wide receiver on this team. We gave you $44 million. It's time to be a professional and start catching the damn football. That's what Brian Billick told me to say. Just putting it out there. Before I let you go, Coach, I want to thank you. As you know, a guy my age, well younger than you, of course, has back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, and you're doing some work with signal relief patches, which, as I understand it, will make me a brand new man overnight. And I'll feel like an 18-year-old stud again, yeah?
Well, that's like the old Art Modell story. I said, how you feel today, Art? He goes, woke up feeling like an 18-year-old. But where are you going to find one at 8 o'clock in the morning? I just turned 70 years old, okay?
God bless you.
I'm telling you, this is the real deal. You got to go to signalrelief.com and check the science behind it.
Yep.
The thing I love about this, because pain is nothing more than an electrical signal in your body. This blocks or mitigates the pain. We say put it between the pain and the brain. I play 18 holes of golf, same with you, my lower back.
Yeah.
This thing goes just above that. It deals with the electrical signal in your body so that motion is medicine. And anything that can help me work past that stiffness, joint, muscle, you know how this is. That's all the week during the week in the NFL is.
Yes, sir.
Get that stiffness out so I can perform on game day. It's reusable for up to a year, so it's very affordable. You put it where you need it. If I get off the golf course, it's to here. If I get out of the pool, it's on my upper back up in here. Get off the pickleball court, it's up in here because the elbow, right? So you put it where you need it. It's 100% money back guaranteed. Go to signalrelief.com. You put in promo code COACH, you get 20% off. So money.
Or you just leave a couple in my office. And
check the science on this. It's the real deal. People need to look into this. Signalrelief.com.
That's signalrelief.com. Thank you so much,
Sounds
Coach
like I'm going to
Billick,
be a single-digit handicap by August. Let me just say one thing before we take a break.
Okay.
It's always good seeing you.
I appreciate
that. And I've always been of the belief, as we've talked about it a million times over the years, that you left a lot of good football in the bank when you decided to walk away after you left the Baltimore Ravens. I know you're still close with Steve Bisciotti, right, the owner?
Yeah, sure.
And with the Ravens franchise. But you left a lot of good football there. And not a lot of people get to walk away the way you did. And I'm frankly envious of it. But I miss having you on the sideline because you
miss my antics.
That's the point.
Sure.
Like,
Great
you
antics.
weren't boring. You didn't give us coach speak. You gave us what you had. And I'm always grateful for that as a guy that does this for a living, because there's not enough of you guys in the sport. And I want to give you one last word association, if I may, because you coached the Baltimore Ravens. And the Baltimore Ravens, of course, have this great rivalry with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I got 2 quick word associations. One, Willie Colon.
Great player.
All right.
We only overlapped 1 year.
All right, number 2. The city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It's gritty.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I appreciate what you said earlier. I tell you what, I will come back into coaching. One proviso. You got to give me that Sean Payton.
Right.
Give me that. And you got to fire me after the first year. There you go. I don't want to do this, because it's all guaranteed. You do that.
But I know what's going to happen. You're going to be 75 years old, you're God willing, and your grandkids are going to be like, Pop, I'm playing flag football where you coach, and you're going to be a terror.
No, I got to tell you, I coached my grandson's 10-year-old.
What was the contract? Sean Payton contract?
Yeah, that was my grandson. So I got to tell you a quick story.
Go ahead.
So very first day, I'm coaching the defense for my son-in-law who runs the league.
Yeah.
And a kid comes up, first time they've ever been in Pats. He goes, "Hey, you're the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens." I go, "Yes, I was. You smart young man." He goes, and you won a Super Bowl." I go, "Very good. You know your stuff." He goes, "That's really cool because most of those guys are dead." I don't know if he thought I was Vince Lombardi or what. No. There's still a few of us.
Let me give you a quick
here.
story. We started a travel baseball league down in Tribeca, downtown New York City. And I had the New York Mets Hall of Famer John Franco, relief pitcher, as one of our coaches. 9-year-old kids trying out for the team to be a pitcher. John's coaching him. And the kid goes up to John Franco and says, "Mr. Franco, before we start, just one thing. My dad told me to tell you, don't mess with my mechanics." That's right. Brian Billick, everybody. Check out. Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.